All right, let me call the meeting to order at 6:30, and we'll go ahead and get started by welcoming everybody. New venue tonight. Hopefully everybody had a chance to get something to eat if you wanted to. If not, there'll be time afterwards, I'm sure. But welcome to Cook's Country Kitchen and the November club meeting. Before I get too far along, I want to make sure that if there are any new guest members, that we can have an opportunity to introduce them. Anybody new? There's like a lot of familiar faces to me, but if there's anybody out there we need to introduce, we certainly can do that.
Anybody who will bring money.
Well,
We like that.
I'm looking at the audience, all familiar faces to me. With that, join Brent in leading us in our invocation this evening.
Lord, we thank you for having mercy upon us for election day. We thank you that you have expressed the willingness to continue to bless us and redeem us. And Lord, we pray that we will ever serve you. We thank you for being with us tonight and pray that we will honor you by the things that we say and do. In Jesus' name. Amen.
We do have an American flag. Frank, you want to do the Pledge of Allegiance for us?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Please be seated. Hi, Greg. Let's see, where are we? Allie, are you ready to go?
Okay, currently we have $6,148.69 in the account. I did spend $144.31 on, we did a trunk or treat. And we had, how many kids?
Close to 600.
Wow. Yeah. Wow. I think I spent $43 on a trunk train parade thing that we did. I had to have pay bills to put in the back, so that's where we're at. A little over 6,000, and I think you have a bill for yours.
Yeah.
Yeah, do it. That's on the total.
Do we do candy at the trunk or treat?
We did 144.
Oh, okay.
144, 30. 144.31.
Okay.
Allie and Doug made up little individual bags and had several treats in the ones. And then she made pretzel rods dipped in white chocolate and sprinkles on them for the parents that brought the kids around. And
Good.
she had 500 of those treat bags, and she managed to filch about 40 more or 50 from Paul Detch, who was right beside us. That helped out in the Republican Club.
We ran out of candy,
Yeah.
so I had to go next door to my neighbor and steal some.
All right, on a more serious note, any questions on the treasurer's report as presented? I'd like to ask for a motion to accept as read. Second? Second. Very good. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Thank you all. Good, that's good practice because we're going to move into our election process here. Obviously, the November meeting is an important meeting for the club. Every 2 years, we do get together and vote on officers for the upcoming term. So that's what we're going to do this evening. And let me go through a couple of pieces of business, and we'll go ahead and get started. So, first thing I would mention that we do have a quorum tonight of members, which is outstanding that you all came up. We do appreciate it. That allows us to conduct the club's business once again. I would tell you that we are going to follow Robert's Rules of Order this evening during the election process, so it'll be a little more formal than I normally am, which will be good. With that, the nomination and election part of the bylaws is section 9 in our bylaws. Just to reiterate where we are, in the October club meeting, regular meeting, we did accept nominations for all the officer roles. We do have a slate of officers to present to you this evening, and at the conclusion of the meeting, the nomination process did close. we have that. And so the other thing I would mention is I'm assuming, Doug, that all of our officer nominees have given their consent to serve. We are not drafting anybody this evening into the role, so that's good. And of course, members in good standing are eligible to serve as officers in there. So with that, I would also remind everybody that the term is January 1st, 2025. It will go for two years, so they'll take us through the 27 calendar year. So that gives you an idea of when that will begin. With that, we do have 5 officers to talk to you about tonight, or 5 candidates for role tonight. Let me introduce them to you. For president, we have Mr. Brent Thompson, interested in serving in that role. For the Eastern Vice President, we have Trey Holland.
Trey's not here. He's got a online course that meets on Thursdays.
All right, very good.
It'll be done after tonight.
For the Central District, we have Mr. Dr. Douglas McKinney, President, and Treasurer Allie is going to serve another term for us if elected. And then our Secretary will be Faye Dunford. So we're happy to have all those folks and, who have stepped up. With that, as I understand it, there are no contested roles tonight. So everybody, there are no other nominations for the role. So we will move forward with a vote by acclamation, which is a lot easier than paper ballot. So with that, I would ask for a motion from the floor to accept. Very good. Can I second?
Second.
All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. I am going to do a point of order just for a moment and announce to everybody we do have the Western VP role is open. We're not getting nominations in October, so I will pause for a second and see if there's anybody in this forum that would be interested in serving in that role. We can go ahead and get that done right now. But you do have to live in that magisterial district. So.
Well, the problem is we don't have any members from that district.
I just want to make sure we covered it as well. So we'll leave that.
Actually, we do have one, but he's got a new job and is unable to get to the meetings. And in fact, we've been unable to contact you because we got too much.
He would have been good for us too. With that, why don't you join me in welcoming our new officer group for 2020. And I think it's appropriate to take just a moment and welcome Brent and see if he has any comments for this group and anything that would inspire us going forward.
Well, let me say this about that. It is apparent from a lot of the faces I see tonight that one of the things we critically need is younger members. And if you
Speak for yourself.
Thank you, Trey. But we do need to spend some time and thought about recruiting other members who are of a value to be conservative, people who want to follow the Constitution and have values for life and not being woke. But anyway, we do need new members. I think it would be good if we continue to have a greater presence in the public eye in the community. So that generally means we will go to meetings of the county commission and the school board because they need to know that we are interested in what they do, and we are also interested in holding them accountable to things that they decide. I think we are very fortunate to have school board members that are not doing things in the community like putting boys on girls teams. That is, I'm sorry? And that's an important thing for valuing women for who and what they are, and for extensions of curriculum that do not teach that our past and our founding is illegitimate. So we do need to be familiar faces with those kinds of bodies. And it is good that we can continue to meet in a place that we don't access upstairs just by stairs and without elevators. So that's why we are here tonight. That being said, anyone else who wants to talk can do
I
it.
have one question.
Yes, ma'am.
What are our dues? $20
$20 a year or
Uh,
maybe for a couple.
for one? For one,
30.
I'm, okay, 30 for one. Maybe we can make an exception for 20 for one. If we find a younger person to join and we pay their dues.
Just in the memo line, if you would, for the treasurer's part of it, if somebody is paying dues for someone, please put it in the memos line.
But we could say sponsor or
Yeah,
something
we
of
can,
that sort.
yeah, you can.
But I'm just saying that perhaps that would be helpful. Because I think a lot of these younger people are very pressed for every dollar.
So it'd be
Actually,
something.
Mary Hamilton paid dues for a young woman. She's only 102.
I didn't put it on. No, you didn't put it in the memo line. I had to go and search and ask and beg and plead. Who is this? So,
One of the gentlemen I sing with on Tuesdays at
I'm
10,
just ready to.
and we call it Tuesdays at 10 because we can remember what day it is and what time it is. And the gentleman I sit beside is 102 years old. Clayton Tyree, some of you may know him. He married a much younger woman. Pat is 89 now. And Clayton didn't stop driving himself until about 3 years ago. So at 99, Pat finally prevailed upon him. Please quit driving, honey. So he did, but he is a joy to talk to. And he has a memory. He used to have work where he would clear land where he was going to build another house and then sell it. When he started doing this, he was clearing the tree stumps out with a team of oxen. That just took my imagination. This guy's been around a long time and he has a lot of things to say to us.
All right, very good.
Yeah.
Thank you, Prince.
I would like to tell you about Clayton too. Clayton was 99, and he came to one of our Tuesdays at 10, and he said, I wanted to let you know that yesterday I went down and changed my registration. Said, I read what all you Republicans are doing here, and I see what those Democrats are doing, my fellow Democrats are doing in Congress, and that they, after some 80 years, I've become a Republican.
Well, they were too late.
Very just go there.
I will get there. Yep, yes, sir.
Okay, so you guys want young people. Is there a way to offer like a scholarship to people who go to West Virginia colleges? But they-
Yes, the answer is yes. We can do anything we want to
They
do.
have to be a member of, I don't know, this, I guess, or something else Republican does.
Sure.
I mean, what if we offered a scholarship of $1,500 to, but they have to be a member.
Do the schools have
HBS
clubs?
money?
I don't know if it's legal, that's actually.
We can do
I
that.
think we can.
I know the Eastern Star does it, like we do offer a yearly scholarship, but usually it's somebody wanting to donate to them. They donate it basically in memory of someone, or for, your alumni or whatever. So,
Well,
I just do
we
it-
have a new president, so I would like to fund a scholarship.
we love you.
There you go.
No, you didn't. I love you too.
We can do that because we're a club.
Huh?
The executive committee cannot do that.
That's what
Because
I'm
the law
asking.
forbids them to do that.
So
We
how
have a
about-
lot more flexibility.
How about we work on that come January 1st and like do some kind of application process?
Punch would like to fund one also.
Would you punch?
There you go.
1,500, so we have two?
I was kind of decided
Wait,
the other.
do you guys want to do it in like May
It's
of
very,
someone?
very cheap.
Does Punch a scholarship to Harvard?
Hey, not Harvard.
Okay, I don't want to be mean, but my scholarship would be to the University of Oklahoma. I know this nobody cares, but
We can work on that come January 1.
They're
Let's do that.
already losing the narrative.
Yeah. So I'm holding you to,
Jane?
both of you to that.
Janie, did you say?
That's your number.
Okay, I just wanted to tell this very generous gentleman that, and all of us, that the high school has a big, annual scholarship gathering. It's huge. All the parents come and the children go up on the stage one right and receive their scholarships. So if we decided to do that, that would be a way to get out in public, big time.
well, I'm in. If somebody can tell me it's legal.
It
It is legal.
is.
We can do that. And there are a number of vehicles you can use.
That
to
happens
advertise
always
that.
in the late spring or around.
I mean, there'll have to be regulations to it, as far
Like
as
us to
GPA.
contact the guidance
Stuff like
counselor at the high school and see what we need to do.
I
Permissions
actually
to go
don't know
along
the
usually.
answer to that.
Because I
We
don't
can do
have.
that,
a
yeah,
scholarship
foundations,
in
foundations of
that.
You know,
Yeah.
he's quitting.
Probably.
Yeah.
I wonder.
Yeah.
I know. Correct.
That's wonderful.
Yeah, I know.
All right.
That's really great.
I don't know.
While we're taking a pause, I want to introduce Trey Holland to us. Trey, you were late, so you're running the whole damn thing. We voted on it. So. Yeah. Now, Trey is our new vice president for the East. So why don't you stand up and introduce
Sorry I'm late. I take master's classes in public administration and policy, so I had one tonight. And about 3/4 of my class were liberal, and they were not happy. So. Yeah. So no, I appreciate you all being so welcoming. We had a great week. Great week. I stayed up until about 3 a.m. and was really tired on Wednesday. But no, I look forward to helping out in any way I can and getting some younger people in the group, and I'll get to talking with people on how we can do that. And I look forward to being a part of this group.
Good.
Yes, thank you all. Thank you.
Welcome and congratulations.
I'm gonna take 10 seconds. 10 seconds. I want to introduce my stepson, Marianne Bruce, from my wife's son, Chris Bruce, a strong Christian. 30 years in LA was enough, right? And he graduates movie school. So he's at home when you see him.
Well,
He lives here now.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
We'll do that.
Yes. One more thing.
Yes,
I'm
ma'am.
not sure that we thoroughly answered Ann's question about the giving a scholarship to a student or to somebody. And I'm not, Ann, did you get it that it's $20 for one person and 10 for a second person in that same?
Well, I
thing?
sort of took it that if you
But-
sponsor someone, it's 20.
Yes,
We can do
probably.
that. I think.
But what I'm getting at is that this, if we want
If
to
you can
do
encourage
this.
anybody that can't afford the dues, we definitely will see that they get covered.
This might be something that we would want to include in our bylaws.
Well, you're on the bylaws.
Well, I'm asking you if that's an appropriate
Cleaning, yeah.
place.
You guys decide.
We get a majority.
She would love it.
In other words, we could come to it with a presentation.
I don't know that, well, my opinion would be, I'm not sure we need to go through the revision process just for, to
Yeah.
have somebody sponsor somebody. So,
Yeah.
Okay, fine.
I mean, Mary just sponsored a whole bunch of it.
Yes.
We were more than happy to take her money.
Individually, of course, but as a club,
Yeah, I understand.
if we wanted to do the scholarship thing, maybe we would want to codify that. That's up to you.
We'll have to get together.
I think the scholarship's a little different ball.
Yeah, we'll have to
Yeah.
do policies and stuff.
Yeah, we're gonna have to make sure we honor his interests and make sure the request is
Yeah.
where we want it to be and all that. So that's a whole separate thing. But the news thing, anybody can sponsor anybody.
That's a whole big thing.
Okay. Well, from an old business perspective, I was told there was an election on Tuesday, and I didn't stay up till 3 a.m., but I made it to midnight, and we had a great night. So, Trey, you're on the executive committee. You probably stayed up later than any of us. Any thoughts on the election or anything that?
It went well. I went to the, I think they had the funeral home. I mean, I think, you really couldn't ask for a much better outcome, but, it went well.
Very good, very good. Anybody else have any thoughts or?
I'll leave the report on the, Marcy's, watch party up in Martinsburg.
Oh, did you go? You went to one in Martinsburg? All right. How was the watch party in Martinsburg?
It was amazing. The decorations were great. The food was great. There was about 500 people. The enthusiasm there was just crazy. I mean, and it was a lot of fun.
Good time.
And did you supply the quilts?
We did quilt, we did Janus.
Well, I had quilts, so
I think Robbie gave it a great big box.
I'm blaming you. That's all I'm saying. For my headache on Wednesday, I'm blaming you. So, but, no, it was really good. Again, a lot of excitement. Just trying to make West Virginia better. I think that's really his purpose, and making sure that things are done right. And I think he'll be a great governor.
Good. Yep. We all agree. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Any other comments or thoughts on the election before we move on? Yes,
Yes.
ma'am. Good to see you.
It's good to be seen. I think we really need to think about the gratitude that we have to have for Pennsylvania, Ohio, and Montana,
Michigan, yeah.
because 53 senators.
Yeah.
That is just amazing. And those people had to really work for it. You know, we know now we are a blood-red state, and God bless us. But those three really had to fight for those seats. And thank goodness, 53 senators, fantastic. And as someone who spent 36 years in New Jersey, I was on the phone to New Jersey until 2:15 in the morning. I have to tell you, for Trump to have lost by less than 10 points in New Jersey is a miracle. Is a miracle. So Republicans are really so, really so.
What's the count in the House now?
It was 209.
Yeah.
Some of them aren't.
And how many are still out?
In yet.
Quite a few in the West.
I thought it was already final that we had won
There's
the House.
No, not yet.
Not yet.
not yet. So the Senate is locked in, the presidency, obviously, everything in West Virginia. The House is still
I
a
don't see
little
how
open.
everything could be counted, and suddenly they don't know about 15 people in the House election. That makes no sense to me.
198 to 10.
Well, it was your own state that's.
That's what I was gonna say. It's our good friends in California.
Don't blame that on me.
Yeah, you left, there's people left out there now.
But there were a lot of people who felt, you know, they had, I heard Speaker Johnson last night, he was very happy. I felt like it was gonna happen. You know, selfishly, I would say I'm not interested in watching an impeachment today.
Could I just, one thing that I think that we have to understand, if I can, we don't have 4 years. And piggybacking on how grateful we are that Trump won this election, we're on borrowed time. We have 2 years, and we don't even really have 2 years. We have about 14 months. And so when we're talking about like laying a foundation, we really do need to figure out in what ways that we can make the most advancements that we can, because we should celebrate right now, because thank you, Lord, this was an amazing, I mean, there were multiple places where God's fingerprints were all over what just happened. And I mean, not the least of which was that she didn't pick Josh Shapiro. Thank you for Tim Walz. But the thing is, but just kind of pointing out, like, and I'm not involved in a lot of the day-to-day yet. I would love to be more actively involved with like what you do, but I'm just pointing out, like, we really need to put this down as if we are on borrowed time. Because the barbarians are at the gate at all times, and they did not stop. They're going to be looking for ways to probably transform undocumented into documented voters, and they're going to be looking at 2022 or 2026 to make sure. So I don't know what the answers are because you guys are a lot smarter than I am. It's well above my pay grade, but I just think it's something that we should really be focused and dialed in on because, thank you God, we got Trump and we got looks like the House and we got the Senate, but that we have to look at that as if that is our end game, and we have to lay the foundation so that we're able to have the roots and the seeds planted now. Just a thought.
Very good.
Well, the house is so important because of the financial bills. We'll have to have 60 people in the Senate to pass any money bills that Trump wants to pass. And if we have the House, they will initiate the bill and it will be fine from there. So it's terribly important that we get the House.
Well, I was going to make a statement, still about the election. When I was voting at school at Greenbrier East, the poll workers were discussing that somebody did come in there and try to vote with someone else's driver's license.
I was told that even people came in when they were early voting, they wanted to vote from another state.
They did.
Yeah.
North Carolina
Yeah.
lady that came in, I think she was displaced with a storm. And it was the second person, I think, was a person from Monroe County who was redistricted.
But I have friends and they live here. The husband voted in one spot and the wife had to go to Alderson. It was absolutely insane.
There's a
Her registration.
redistricting and have that.
In West Virginia, you all might not be up on it, but Senator Bob Plymouth from Huntington, who's been in the legislature almost 30 years, did not run for re-election. And he was one of the 3 Democrats, and he was replaced by a Republican. So the West Virginia Senate is 32-2.
That is
amazing. Boogie, you've been in this game a long time. What are your thoughts on Tuesday and fast forward to the party?
Well, I'm like, cause some others of us, we stayed up to 2:30, actually it's 3:30. After the announcement and President Trump, had his victory speech. And what I found very interesting through all of it was that one network that I watch more than others, I flipped to the other networks and none of them, CBS, ABC, NBC, MSNBC, CNN, none of them would call the election when it was already determined or felt it was. We had 277 electoral votes. And when I woke up at 7 o'clock and turned the TV on, after going to bed at 4, they still hadn't called it. They were still waiting for these 3 states to come in. And I think what we've got to do, and this young man got it right. Traditionally, when you win everything in the election presidential, the 2-year election after that is the one you start losing your power. Because if you haven't done everything you promised people that start looking away from you. So we can be as happy as a lark, and I am. I am tickled to death and will stay this, and I'm going to cherish this, for as long as we can. However, we do need to turn our attention to 2026 because that's where Trump's final 2 years are going to be, and we need to stay in control to bring America back to where, I've heard the senator from Ohio, I believe, is one who said that this was not a red wave. It was a red, white, and blue wave, which means America may be coming back. And in order to ensure that, we're going to have to start looking at 2026 quickly. Enjoy this now. Let's all enjoy it. But we're going to have to, come January 1, we're going to need to be looking at 2026. because you only have 14 months until the candidate starts, again, and the television starts running it. And the major networks are not going to let up on President-elect Trump. They're not gonna let up on him. They're finding anything and everything to continue to hammer on the man.
Very good. Good. Absolutely right. Absolutely right. Barbara?
Ally pointed out tonight at dinner that in Kamala Harris's speech, she used the word fight 23 times. And I have seen local posts, on my Facebook, and that word continues to be used by the Democrats.
I think if you saw the Attorney General of New York speech yesterday, you would find it very disturbing.
Yes.
I think if you saw Gavin Newsom's discussion this morning about how he thinks about things, you're gonna find it very disturbing. And I would imagine a lot of other blue states will continue to have that sort of attitude about things, which is very disturbing. Thomas?
One of my biggest concerns that I've had for a long time now is word adoption by political parties, like fight, for example. That was adopted by Trump and Republicans ran with it. Now the Democrats are trying to drag it to their side. One of the things, I work with computers all the time. You can go in and look at Google's data. You can look at search engine optimization, right? So one of the most popular phrases used by people searching. When I ran for House of Delegates, I used phrases like safe guns, stuff like that, which did not resonate very well with Republicans, but that is what young people are Googling and they're using that in the search results. That type of wording is not really being adopted or embedded into the Republican Party's platform, which we kind of needed in order to hit that search results and that search engine traffic to get people to come over to the Republican Party.
Very good, very good.
What you were talking about on watching them on TV, I just kind of switched over to Newsmax last night. The Newsmax was calling things, they got an in, and they're getting everything 45 minutes to an hour faster than Fox News.
Fox
They
News
were
was the
calling it
first.
quicker than Fox News was.
I'm sure probably been sitting in here watching Newsmax and them more than they do the other major networks and things. And you're right, there was a couple that said, okay, they're in this. But the major networks and where most of the leftist movements have come from in this country for years now, they're the ones who refuse to accept. And truly, and what little bit I've got to watch, since Wednesday morning, the fact that they're still, they can't accept that they've lost, and so they're picking and choosing, and they're saying that. They're going to fight Trump all the way through this thing. I think finally, diversity in this country, we think may be dying out a little bit under this president who seemed to have blocked everybody. And the mere fact that he got over 50% of the vote for the first time in 36 years? He got to 51%. So that in itself says something to the message that the Republicans have put out. And it's refreshing. It really is to see some of those other words that are not being used now and maybe going to come out of the computer and the dictionary of things.
But you know what? And just piggybacking on that, we have the greatest untapped resource that peeked its head out during this election. Why aren't we going to the churches? If we're trying to actually do something, we need to spread the gospel and ignite the fire of revival. Because if we want to make this work, we have an untapped resource. Get the churches active. Get them involved. It's not about political, it's about spiritual, and it's not about the names on the ballot, it's the name above all names to which every knee will bow and every tongue will confess that Jesus Christ is Lord. Amen. So you start putting this all together, and that's where you get the numbers, that's where you get your movement, that's where you get your foundations, and then let that do it. Let that spread. I mean, it just seems obvious to me if we're going to kind of look at it, we have an untapped resource. What is it? Something like 75 or 150 million Christians didn't vote? Right. And I'm from California, where they sometimes actually vote blue. which makes you kind of sit back and go, what culture of death did you come back from? And it's, so it just seems to me that we should start kind of going to where the easiest is first, straight line, 2 points. I think that's right. Straight,
2 points.
2 points, straight line, yeah, he's a teacher. So, I don't know, that's just another.
I think we're gonna move on.
Sorry
Just
about that.
two more points that I would make on this.
You're right.
One is, if you look at the election results for our county, Greenbrier County, only 31% of the people showed up to vote. So I would ask you all to dig through.
The registered voters?
Isn't it?
A little more than 63.
What did you have? What do you have, Faye?
We have this mic and read it.
Well, I looked at it before as the evening was closing. Doug, what does it say?
In the
It's not working real good right now.
In the paper today, it said 65.
63.
Well, we're gonna.
Well, I will tell you, there was a line every day,
Oh, gosh, yes.
every day, all day, big rise, what time it opened, what time it closed.
It was awful, it was terrible. I ain't looked at news in an hour and 45 minutes.
Alright, so I looked at it as an early return then, so it didn't catch up. But for an election this important, your friends and neighbors need to come out. So that's one of the things that I would encourage everybody to do. So I think it's.
Oh, my turn.
Well, could be. Could be.
We can bet though that as soon as Kamala gave her concession speech,
The
or
next day
before,
at 4 o'clock,
they're working for the next election. They're going to look at, like you said, any way they can to attack. The Attorney General of New York, she's already been on television vowing to continue with her legal vows.
You can talk about the turnout, but the turnout comes from clubs and executive committees. Because the year Sue was chairman of the Harrison County Executive Committee, we were second in the state in turnout with 74%. Lewis County, which was next door to us, was the only one higher in the state. And Sue was chairman of the executive committee. The executive committee really pushed the turnout. And I think we need to maybe start thinking about advertising and emphasizing it more in our things. Maybe start our monthly newsletter again. Asking people from the Board of Public Works to write columns for us. We can do that.
We do have 10,000 registered Republicans in Greenbrier County. So it's the first time that's happened, and that's exciting. All right, a lot of good discussion, a lot of good thoughts. I would just leave you all with a thank you, because I did send an email around that it's floating around somewhere, but I just want to take a moment and thank everybody in this room for the work to elect good conservative candidates. And I think it's important to recognize the job you all do to advocate, to sponsor, to show up at the parade, to show up, at the events, to wave the flags, to wave the sign, put the signs in the yard, talk to your neighbors, make the phone calls. That doesn't, you guys are unsung heroes, and I want to take a moment and thank you all for what you did to help elect this body of conservative leaders that we have out there. So thank you all for that very much. And I know I appreciate it, and I'm sure everybody in this room appreciates it. And to the points that have been eloquently made, our work is not done. So I think we should celebrate, enjoy, spike the ball, so to speak, and then go back to work. And we have a couple more years to go, and we'll see where it goes from there. With that, let's talk about some new business. So Doug, you want to talk about the Christmas party?
Yeah, we've had an annual Christmas party, and they have really done a good job for us up at the Dutch House. So we're scheduled there again for December the 14th with a 5:30 cash bar, dinner at 6:30. And we fortunately have J.B. McCuskey, who is our Attorney General-elect and is an excellent speaker. J.B. was anxious to come and be the speaker for that. We have a limit of about 160 people there. And we decided at the last meeting that in view of the economic straits that so many people are facing, we would try to keep the tariff to the minimum. So we set the dinner fee at $40 per person, and at that we think we'll break even, or maybe even lose $100 or $200. But we think it's worth it for the goodwill and whatever that we're going to generate with it. And we'll start advertising that, and we'll have the tickets available probably within a week or so. And, we'll be putting out the ad or the notice in the newspaper. And our local papers have really treated us well. If we are nice to them and send stuff for them, I think they're kind of lazy. If you write the article up for them, they'll publish it. So I found that out. We're
It'll
doing
be
that
80
well.
for 2.
So if you want to make a reservation for the dinner, you can do that tonight. And the other thing is, we'd like everybody to take a few of our brochures with you tonight. And if you have a friend or two that mentions to you their feelings about things, give them one of the brochures and let them know what the club's goals and ideals are. And there's a registration form that they can clip out of there and send in with their check for dues. And I mailed out 50 of them to people on our mailing list 2 days ago, so there'll be some more of them going out shortly. But everybody should take 2 or 3 of these brochures and be sure you hand them out to your friends and talk to them about the importance of getting things moving early for 2026.
Okay. Peg?
For the Christmas dinner, what do you think about maybe dividing up that list and contacting people for the people that want to call them, ask them if they'd want to,
The 16-page contact list you gave him tonight?
You've got this too.
I know, are you gonna call him?
I'm sorry?
I said, are you gonna call him?
I don't have time. I'll call some, I'll call one page, but I don't have time to do the other.
I think what we can do is we can look at we have a list of who's attended all our other dinners.
Okay,
And I think it's not really a problem to divide them up and to call those people.
I
A
think
lot
that
of
would
those
be
people
good.
are here,
Right.
and a lot of them look forward to coming to our dinners. And I think people will be interested to hear what J.B. McCuskey has to say, because he has done a marvelous job in making the auditor's office transparent. You can go to their website and you can find out up to the minute expenditures for every municipality and county and division of the state government. You can get the cash flow and everything off of those. And he's looking forward to doing the same kind of innovative and motivational things in the governor's office to carry on what Pat Morrissey has done for the past 12 years.
All right. I think we'll do a quick straw man. How many people are interested in the dinner on the 14th? Thank you for that. I need to win the comfort there. You know, last year we ended up not having the dinner, so I want to make sure we have some support this year for it. So appreciate that. Anyway, December 14th is a Saturday, and hopefully you can make some time on your calendar for that, and see Allie afterwards if you'd like to reserve your tickets. So we appreciate that. All right. With that, items for the good of the club. Do we have any open topics we want to talk about? We talked about quite a bit this evening. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, great, thank you. So I have talked to a few people already that are in the club and the federation. We have a women's federation here in Greenbrier County. Sue McKinney is the current president of that.
There's Sue Spicer.
Or Sue, what did I say, Sue McKinney?
Yeah.
Sue McKinney, Sue Spicer. But I think that the club needs to get involved a little bit more with the federation and the executive committee. We need to promote unity in this area, because we've not had it, and I'm not gonna sit here and act like I'm not the bad person, because I hold grudges and I'm not a very nice person. So.
I'll second that motion.
You're in trouble. Oh, you're in trouble.
Cute. So I am going to, at future meetings, try to get people together. I would like to do some membership drives in the community. Like Doug and I did the trunk or treat. But I would like to do certain little things, parades, in order to get it out that the club is still alive. We're still active in the community, and we have some amazing members. Also, I want to get with you, and I know you was part of the Young Conservatives for
Yeah, I'm
County.
treasurer of the West Virginia Federation of Young Republicans.
Okay,
That we
so-
need to, we've been trying to start a chapter in the Greenbrier Valley, there's just nobody that's willing to be leadership.
Well, I mean, if you will get with me and help me, because I'm sure that there are some coming out of high school. I mean, I know we lost Tucker and the other guy, but I'm sure there's still some that are out there that people do. So,
Sure.
but again, I wanna do some membership drives, at local events, whether, I don't know what's coming up in December. But set up a table, sit out there, talk to people, pass out brochures, offer them candy, offer them something. And just basically, because we've got to get our membership up.
Yep.
Plain and simple.
You're talking about this as a project for the Women's Federation.
I'm saying it's a project for the club and the federation.
Okay.
So, a lot of the Women's Federation are members of the club, so they need their membership up too. I'm not saying that we're gonna, get together and form one big band.
No.
I'm just saying that I think that people in the club need to help the federation, because again, this is a new thing. We've been active for what, a year? A year. And a lot of people don't know about it. A lot of women, a lot of strong, independent women who I think would be amazing in politics.
There was a great article in the newspaper about your last meeting. I've seen it in both papers.
Thank you.
Only one thing was missing. One thing was missing.
What's that?
No contact information.
Yeah.
There was nobody to call or write.
Again, I'm going to get with Ms. Spicer and work on that, as far as applications and, because again, it's a new thing. I mean, literally,
Yes.
this just came together last year by Denise Morrissey, and you know how busy she's been, so, but again, they need help, we need help, so if we kinda join up together and do some membership drives, some parades, get the banners out there, get the applications out there, then I think that we'll see a more positive impact in the Greenbrier County area.
And if you happen to know some young women who are financially strapped but have time and would like to participate, they already have assurances that somebody will cover their dues for them.
There is a little bit of money left from what I understand, so.
Good.
Doug, I think we should tell them about what's planned for next year and knowing that we are planning and the dinner that we're planning.
Okay.
Is this
Well-
for the federation? Or
No.
the club?
For
Oh,
the
okay.
club.
We think that St. Patrick's Day is a great opportunity because St. Patrick's Day is on a Monday. And we are wanting to honor St. Patrick Morrissey on March the 14th, or March the 17th. And we think that with the Trump victory and the big victories here, that we can have, and that's going to be his first big appearance as governor. We're assured of that, and we're assured that he's going to be there and will be the speaker for it. So we think it offers potential for a big draw. And the question is whether it would be too big for the Dutch House and whether we ought to consider another venue for it.
Maybe it's State Fair grounds.
What about the Greenbrier?
I don't think so.
Well,
There are a lot of things.
I think
going
maybe
on.
he should come through.
They've got a large room at the O school.
That's a good venue.
They do.
They've got-
Jason, you don't like to do anything
The O School does
political.
not want to do political events.
They're
That's
very
good.
democratic.
How about the schoolhouse then? Very expensive.
Expensive.
Well,
The
they're
thing about it was, did anybody else attend the big dinner over at the, what's the place where y'all had the dinner too?
no.
It was a hotel, right?
I think that,
Quality Inn.
while at the end, I think that place is probably not ADA compliant.
No.
Because it has two large, or two long central steps. And if you want to use the elevator, you gotta go the length of the place through storerooms and take an elevator back from the kitchen. So I'm a little bit leery of this.
Right. It's not the greatest place either.
The thing about it is we did have a not very good experience once with the fairground because they have their own caterer, but now you can get anybody you want to cater it, so we have a free reign there, so.
That's if you're doing St. Patrick's Day, you can do corned beef and cabbage, and it shouldn't be that expensive.
That's right.
We
That's a great venue.
You're not the first one to think that because St. Patrick's Day happens to be my birthday.
It's also got the green carpet where they did the 4-H.
And we could probably talk them into some green beer if you wanted. So. But that's the idea that we're thinking about, and we're going to be working on that. If you have ideas about it, just send me a text or give me a call and let me know. But the Dutch House has told us that their prices are going to go up after the 1st of January. So you would have to charge at least $50 to even make any money on the one there. We'll look at other. We'll look at the other.
And again, with a smaller venue.
Caterers too. So if you have any ideas, just call me or send me a text and let me know.
All right, any other items for the good of the club? Going one?
Yes.
Twice?
Yes.
Why don't we conclude the meeting then? So with that, Kirk, you want to lead us in the God Bless America?
All right, God bless America. God bless America. Land that I love, stand beside her and guide her through the night with a light from above. From the mountains to the prairies, to the ocean, white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home.
Thank you all. Come up and get a brochure on the way out.